Sports City, chefs, Sports City, chefs. Yeah, Cavi, Taj.
Yes. Sports City. It is your boy, the villain, super villain, Barry Jordan here. Sports City Chefs, the finger foods, New York Giants, post game, I guess, takeaways on the Sports City Chefs YouTube network, exclusively on YouTube network. As always, if you like what you hear, hit the like button, comment, subscribe so that you can get more of the Sports City Chefs in your kitchen, your dining room, wherever you want it. We can give it to you. So, Giants pull out an ugly win. I said it online. I said, just win ugly, baby. But it's a win nevertheless. The Giants grabbed their third win of the season, beating the Las Vegas Raiders 23-16 at a packed house, mostly Raider fans that snuck into the building. A couple of my friends I know were there and left home disappointed because the Raiders couldn't get it done. The Raiders had an ugly game, a lot of mistakes, a lot of miscues, but the Giants took advantage of that. And, listen, after their performance on Monday night against the Kansas City Chiefs, where they were the ones making mistakes, it was nice to see them finally clean up those mistakes, not make as many turnovers, mental errors, miscues, and took advantage when the Raiders absolutely did. Listen, the Giants' defense played one of their better games, and it wasn't their best game, clearly, but it was a bend don't break game for them. They did give up a lot of runs in the running game. Josh Jacobs had a pretty good day for the Las Vegas Raiders. As the Raiders combined for 117 yards, Josh Jacobs had 76 yards. He left with an injury. Kenyon Drake came in at 30 yards, and then he left with an injury. They averaged almost 6 yards a run. 5.9. So the Raiders were able to run the football. Derek Carr was moving the ball through the air, almost 300 yards, 296 yards total for the game, but through two interceptions and game-ending fumble. Listen, the Giants were pushed down the field. The Raiders were able to get yards where they wanted to, but the Giants held in the red zone, limited them to field goals, and the Giants got turnovers when they needed it as well. The red zone defense was the story for the Giants. Held them to 16 points. The first drive, the Giants gave up a touchdown on a pass to Henry Renfrow from Derek Carr. After that, the Raiders in all made 6 red zone trips. Only gave up that touchdown and then had to settle for field goals. And then the last red zone trip for them was a field goal attempt inside I think it was the 10-yard line, and it was a miss from the Raiders kicker. He missed. It was crazy that he missed that field goal. Daniel Carson. So basically, the Giants were able. The Raiders were able to push the Giants down the field. But the Giants came up huge when they had to. Xavier McKinney had the best game of his young career, getting 2 interceptions. One he took back for a touchdown, a pick six. The second interception was a big one in the fourth quarter to get the Giants the ball back with about 5 minutes left in the game. The defense, the Giants only got 1 sack, but that 1 sack was huge by Quincy Roche, friend of Sirius, who was a former Steelers late round draft pick, was cut by the team, put on waivers, and then the Giants snagged him up. He came in the fourth quarter and got a strip sack that was recovered by Leonard Williams, and that basically sealed the game for the New York Giants. The defense has been playing much better. The secondary has played very well. Logan Ryan making some huge plays. Great tackle on in the fourth quarter to stop a possible touchdown drive. Basically, that drive where Carlson missed the kick was halted inside the red zone because Logan Ryan made a tackle on Josh Jacobs on third down. He might have been able to get into the end zone if Logan didn't make that tackle. So huge game by him. Obviously, McKinney had a great defensive grade. Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Julian Love all graded very high. Dory Jackson played really good defense in the secondary. His play has stepped up along with James Bradbury. The 2 defensive ends, Quincy Roche and Azeez Olajari, young guys, the rookies, have basically stamped their place and should be the starters for the rest of the year. There's no reason why these kids shouldn't be starting. Jimenez and Lorenzo Carter. Carter dealing with the injury, but they haven't been effective this year. They can't get a pass rush. These kids at least are making plays, if not in the run game or in the passing game. They should be the starters for the rest of the year. The offense really didn't have a great game, but if you could call anything that was a positive for the Giants offensively, it was the rushing game, the rushing attack. The Giants basically, got over 100 yards rushing in the game. That were paced by Devontae Booker. Devontae Booker, his second straight game with over 120 all-purpose yards, just missed out on a 100-yard game, missed it by 2 yards, and then had to leave the game with an injury late in the fourth quarter. And then was carried by Elijah Penny. But all in all, the Giants got 149 yards rushing. Like I said, Devontae Booker had his second straight game, building off the Chiefs game. Was effective not only in the run game, but in the passing attack too. Elijah Penny was called in to run the football when Booker went down. Added, his game was 5 carries, 35 yards. Really kind of helped wear down that defense in the fourth quarter. Was really rebounded off of last week's mental lapse when he had that personal foul taunting penalty called against him. Really was effective. Wearing down the defense, getting some first downs, and forcing the Raiders to start using some timeouts. Daniel Jones had a couple scrambles as well. He had a big scramble in the fourth quarter where it was 3rd and 7 with about 8 minutes to go. So I'll get to that in a minute. But he was scrambling, getting some effective yards. But the running attack, the offensive line, much maligned for the season, really had a really good game in the run game. The passing protection struggled a little bit against the Raiders, so it was good for them to be able to lean on the rushing attack. Honestly, the receivers weren't really effective. I think the game plan was go to the running backs and the tight ends. As you saw, Kyle Rudolph, Evan Ingram catching a touchdown pass. He had a really good game. His second straight game with a touchdown. But Kenny Galladay getting his first game action in over a month. Kadarius Toney also nursing an injury. They both weren't really effective. Galladay had a big catch on 3rd and 8, but for the most part, really wasn't effective. I think that's gotta lean on Garrett. Garrett's got to find ways to get Galladay involved. I feel like this season, when he has played, he just hasn't been effective. They got to find a way to get him the football. So we'll see how that plays out as they head into the bye. 2 catches for 28 yards, not going to cut it. He's got to do better. But I think it's on Garrett. They've got to find ways to get him the football. The fourth quarter was huge for the New York Giants. Listen, the Giants had the momentum grabbing the lead, but then with the ball deep in their territory, with after they just the Giants defense just got them the ball back. They were staring 3rd and 7 down, and the Giants needed to make a play, not only to get the defense a little rest, but to start willing down the clock. And like I said, Daniel Jones scrambled for 9 yards, made a nice move, nice individual effort to get the first down. They avoided that 3 and out. That would have gave the Raiders the ball back. The Raiders I think had just kicked the field goal. So, getting them the ball back with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter would have been a disaster. They were able to get a couple more ticks off the clock. They had another 3rd down, couldn't convert at midfield, 3rd and 7. But, listen, that time is valuable, and, you got to keep the defense rested, and you got to start making plays when they did, and they did. So give Daniel Jones and the offense credit. Elijah Penny had some fourth quarter runs for first downs under 5 minutes that helped keep the Giants offense on the field. Eventually, one big first down that he got, the Raiders had to start using timeout. So by the time the Raiders got the ball back in the fourth quarter, they had no timeouts. They started to move the ball down the field, but then the big strip sack basically sealed it. So, but when you don't have any timeouts and you have to throw to get down the field, it really limits your playbook. So the Giants, all in all, did what they had to do and didn't do turn the ball over. Didn't have a lot of mental miscues. Daniel Jones didn't have a great day. 15 for 20 for 110 yards. But, what you like to see is no interceptions. He had that, I think he had that one fumble in the game on a strip sack. So, other than that, he more or less took care of the football. And the Giants pulled out of there with a win. Heading into their bye week, 3-6, you'd like to be a little bit better record at this point, but now, they're heading into their bye week, and then they'll welcome in the Bucs after that in week 11. So, lots to unpack there. Our next finger food, I'll most likely break down the first half of the Giants season and look ahead. But all in all, a nice win for the Giants and a nice little finger food for the villains, so I don't have to make myself sick after another loss. But as always, thank you for listening. We always encourage you to hit that like button, share, subscribe, so that you can get more content like this. And listen, we got shows all week. We'll have the NFL Free-For-All. We have the Callers Cookout. And then the Crossover Cafe will be back. And, we got shows all week. And then we will be on some other platforms as well. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be streaming live to our social platforms in collaboration with CEV Sports. So be on the lookout for that. But as always, tell a friend that it's the chefs again. And if you don't know, now you know.
Sports City, chefs, Sports City, chefs, yeah. Cabby, Taj.